In today's video, we're talking about dealing with this. Why your muscles are not growing. Why? As you're starting off your training journey for the first time, you notice how you're able to grow so rapidly and progressively able to add more weight. Then, as time goes, this juice gradually decreases. Regardless of the fact that you still train hard, eat hard, watch workout videos hard, and still no results. At this point, frustration sets in, then you start blaming it on certain habits. Well, before you stop, hear me out, even though you still probably should stop. What you're experiencing were the effects of what's called newbie gains. And as you mature at the gym, they wear off. And it seems as though you're no longer making progress in terms of gains. Which is true, but this is mainly because of certain mistakes you might be doing. Well, in this video, we'll be going through 4 key mistakes that are probably keeping you from building muscle past this point, and how to continue to build muscle without resorting to any illegal boosters. The first mistake you should avoid that's probably preventing you from building muscle is not applying enough volume to your workouts. In this case, set volume. I was going to say your diet, but that's pretty obvious and fairly easy to fix. 175.6 grams per pound for the calorie deficit which will lead to cortisol response. As in straightforward. But now your volume. How many are your sets? If you're training only 2 sets per exercise per muscle group, then really what gains are you talking about? Not unless if you have the time and enough equipment at your gym, in a way that you'll be able to hit all different exercise variations on all the equipment without having to wait for 6 gym bros to finish with their 3 sets each on a leg press before you can finally jump in. And if you're working a 9 to 5, there's no chance because you will have to go through this. The best approach is to increase the number of sets per exercise. A study shows that doing 4 to 6 sets per exercise has shown to be more effective than a single set. Another 2018 study that was carried out in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise, where a group of men performed the same exercise over the course of 8 weeks with different number of sets, one having done only 1 set, and the other group 3, and the last group having performed 5 sets. The study found that the group that had higher training volume, which accumulated to 45 sets per week, had a dose-response relationship which clearly proved this to elicit hypertrophy, meaning dose-response relationship is followed by muscle hypertrophy with greater gains due to increased training volume. As long as you make sure, however, that you leave enough room for recovery and avoid overtraining. The next mistake you should avoid is not mixing up exercises. Changing up exercise variations helps stimulate more muscle growth, due to the fact that your muscle fibers adapt over time. And doing the same thing over and over again can in fact exhaust you psychologically. And if you're exhausted psychologically, then your muscle won't grow, obviously, because really, where will you get the willpower to push yourself harder, Harry Potter? This was proven by science. A study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research compared 2 groups, with one training in variations and one training with the same exercise, in this case, squats. The results were clear after 12 weeks that the group who performed variations built more muscle than the other group with only a single exercise over and over again. So if the first thing you always did after swiping your gym access card was to look for an empty bench, so you start your same old dumbbell bench press routine, you might want to start off with cable crossover or dumbbell incline press instead. This will create a whole new stimulus even psychologically, which will eventually challenge you to grow further. Mistake number 3. Training once a week. Bro split. This is when training 1 muscle a day, with the idea of focusing on it solely to optimize muscle growth. The problem with this, however, I mean, you can have a look at it yourself. You're only training each muscle group once a week. Even though you might convince yourself that you'll be in for a really huge pump, in the long run, this is not optimal. Proving this was a study amongst many, where the rate of a particular muscle growth between trainers who trained once a week and those who trained 3 times per week was observed. It turned out that the group that trained a muscle 3 times per week experienced significantly more muscle growth. Another study carried out compared participants who trained their workouts spread over the week and participants who trained all their weekly exercises in one huge workout session. And as expected, the group that spread out their workouts over the week gained more muscle than those that congested their whole week into one giant workout session, keeping in mind that the volume was the same between the groups. So what's the reason behind all this? Well, the first reason is that protein synthesis stays elevated for 72 hours after you finish your workout. Then after that, we need to train that muscle group again to stimulate protein synthesis for the next 72 hours for muscle growth. So if you're training once a week, that's 72 hours and 96 hours of missed gains for the rest of the week. In this case, obviously you're not growing. Mistake number 4, not progressively overloading. There are 3 mechanisms in training: metabolic stress, muscle damage, and mechanical tension. In this video, we'll cover only 2, which are mechanical tension and metabolic stress. If you're training high fast-paced reps, shorter rest times between sets, with obviously fairly lighter weight, you ultimately increase metabolic stress. This is due to the fact that training this way causes a high buildup of chemical byproducts within your muscle fibers, which ultimately makes your muscles more acidic. This is the point where you're feeling the burning sensation during your workout. However, studies have consistently proven this is not the most optimal way to build muscle, as in not strongly correlated with muscle hypertrophy. Instead, what we are looking for is mechanical tension, which has been proven as the most viable and important vehicle for muscle growth. Mechanical tension means the tension placed onto your muscle as it contracts and lengthens under a specific load. The greater the range of motion and weight or load during an exercise, the greater the mechanical tension. This is exactly what you need to maximize when training: the mechanical tension. Simply achieve this by progressively adding more weight during your exercises week to week. As you get stronger, this will also indicate greater muscle mass, as these are directly correlated. And as time progresses, you'll notice the absence of muscle soreness, which is a good thing because your body is more focused on now building more muscle instead of nursing old damaged tissue. Another way to increase mechanical tension is to pay attention to proper form, slowing down the movement other than mindlessly moving the weight up and down, and increasing rest periods between sets to about 1.5 to 2 minutes. Doing all these increases mechanical tension, which has constantly shown to increase muscle growth. Apply all these 4 changes to your training and you'll surely start to notice your muscles making gains once again. If you're looking for more information on building muscle through mechanical tension, then check out this video. And for more information on growing muscle with supplementation like creatine, then check out this video. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. See you again on the next video.